Climbing is a sport where it's all about movement. It's really about understanding of how far you can push the body and setting routes to make people do that and just see them try and figure it out. It just gives you a real big kick. You go move by move, see what works, see what doesn't, see what we can refine. Just keep tweaking until it's perfect. And then now we put it up. Like just finding the right handhold to do the move that you want. That's a good thing while working here.
To me, I'm doing like more bouldering. So you get probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, bouldering area in Singapore. And furthermore, they're paying a lot of attention to route setting.
Climbing around in South Africa and in London, I can definitely say that on-site has some really competitive routes.
Of course, on-site is the biggest gym in Singapore. On-site kind of has everything that you need to actually get better in climbing, whether it's the walls, there's different kind of angle of walls, and there's a lot of equipment around here like the hangboards around here and the TRX. So on-site itself has everything that every climber needs to get better.
Yep, I'm studying sports science in Republic Poly, and you can learn while climbing rather than in class. Coming here is more fun. The staff are nice. If I commit any mistakes, they are ready to help me better myself and teach me good values while working here.
Like the people here are really friendly and always happy to help. And we're working as a team. You're never alone. So that's what I'm actually looking for every day, to just see the smile that on-site put on our customers' faces. I think they play a big role in my life.
It's really the people, it's the environment. It's watching people just keep going at it over and over again, and you know, like seeing different people try different things, watching people of all body types, body shapes, sizes really just figure their way out through a route. And yeah, that's pretty amazing.
すいません。
いや、黒い服に合わせてこれですよ。東京粉末のブラックはもう何でも合いますよ。
A very good morning to all the viewers here at Boulderactive 2017. The Open Men's Semi-Finals is happening very soon at Imperial Mall right next to Lavender MRT. So if you're making your way down to Imperial Mall to have a look at the Boulderactive 2017 Open Men's Semi-Finals, it will be commencing very soon. Meanwhile, also make sure you're on your way here for the Novice Men Finals, the Novice Finals, the Inter-Finals, as well as the highlight of every event, the finals for the Opens, which will be happening this evening at 5 p.m. Right now, our route judges are just making a last-minute call for the observation period that will be happening very soon. It's getting ready, and Boulderactive 2017 is proudly brought to you by NUS. The NUS team has been organizing Boulderactive for many years, and it has been one of the highlights of every competition season. This year, Boulderactive 2017 has a slightly different tune to it, wherein there is this exchange program with the North Face Cup, and the top winners for the Boulderactive 2017 Men and Women Opens would have a chance to represent their corresponding countries in the North Face Cup 2018. And our first climber is out. Climbers have 3.5 minutes to solve the problem. They have 4 problems to solve. And the first climber, Lee Go-an. So this first problem spans the entirety of the wall, the inclined wall that we have here just before the slab. So this is really gonna be a very long problem for our climbers to do. And of course, other than the live stream, we also have the live scoring, and you can check out the scores at ba2017.crimp.rocks. This event is brought to you by NUS, organized by NUS Climbing Club, supported by Team NUS and NUS Student Sports Club. So it's Sunday morning right here, local time 9:28 a.m. Do join us here at Imperial Mall later on. So as we see Guan on the wall right now, Guan is one of the top 20 climbers from yesterday's Open Men's qualifiers. So only 6 of these Open Men from the semi-finals will make it through to the finals, which would happen this evening at 5 p.m. So make sure you head on down to Imperial Mall. It is a beautiful Sunday in this beautiful mall, brought to you by Imperial Mall. There's 1 minute on the clock for Guan. You can see that the bonus style is that the volume is that very small blue crimp. But the start looks really awkward. You are almost slanted. And like I said, this route spans the entire wall. And we've seen how the grey volume posed as a problem for many of the ladies yesterday during the semi-finals. We're going to see how the men would try to tackle this volume. Just got to secure himself the bonus in this first climb of the day. Steady. It's a little reachy for him, in fact.
Yeah.
It's a little far outreached. Now, would that be it for Guan on his first climb of the day? Coming up very, very soon would be Justin Young. Justin Young is joining us. And of course,
He's currently serving his national service and he still finds time to train.
so it's definitely dedication for him to have found time between his serving to train for Boulderactive.
So we have climbers from all over the region. We have climbers from Philippines, Indonesia, and of course here in Singapore. We also have our Japanese climber that is here from TNFC Exchange. So we will see him later on. It's really a great start right here.
And we've seen how Futaba has really trashed a lot of our climbers yesterday. We're going to see how Kaito is going to do well in this semi-finals.
And also yesterday in Open Women's Semi-Finals, we see someone finishing all 4 problems
Yes,
by
Lee
Hung
Hung
Ying.
Ying.
Yes.
Very impressive feat by Hung Ying. Because Justin with more than enough time to afford a few more attempts. He was really, really close to the bonus on his first try. So we're going to see if he's able to keep up with this. And as you can see, just taking his time to read the route once again. So pretty much it's quite a straightforward route, if I have to say, for compared to most other open men's semi-finals.
Yes.
But the move itself is very reachy, as you've seen how Koan has tried. And so Justin's doing a very different beta this time.
So it's really stepping up, almost horizontal to the ground.
Yes.
And if you are watching right now, we also have the live chat going on together with the live stream.
That's
so
right.
do talk to us, let us know who you are supporting, who you woke up for in this early Sunday morning.
And of course, your predictions for tonight's finals,
Yeah.
the top 6 from this semi-finals that you would think that you would want to see make it to the finals. I mean, of course, we want every one of them to enjoy themselves in this climb, because it's the only chance they get to do these climbs at Boulderactive 2017. With more than a minute on the clock. So the scoring system relies on the number of the number of attempts to tops. So it's dependent on how many attempts they take to reach the top. So many of our open climbers will actually conserve as much attempts as they can and put as much effort into each attempt as they can, as we see from Justin and Goan for so far. There's our 40 seconds with 3 more problems to climb. Would he try again? I would really hope he gets at least the bonus
Yeah.
to secure it, to have an early lead ahead of the climbers after him as well as before him.
The solution that he's trying out looks really difficult. I'm not too sure if this is the best way to do it. I mean, but we still have 18 climbers who will try this out, and
That's right.
definitely everyone will have different ways of doing a problem.
And as you see on screen, we have a lot of problems, a lot of very intricately designed problems by our route setters to challenge all our climbers. And so the next climber joining us would be Jason Liu. Jason Liu is from the Boulder Hub. As well as back on the wall again, we have Guan on his second route.
So just looking at all these problems, they're really spanning the entire wall, really making use of the space, and this wall is brought to you by Climb Asia. So they were here on Monday night to set this wall up for us here. Guan looking steady on the bonus, so that really big red volume is almost shadowless, so it means there's nothing you can edge. So in that volume there's actually 2 small crimps to help them, but they're so small that they're just barely enough.
And of course, at the same time, we've seen this volume in many of our recent competitions.
Yeah.
It is almost always a problem that comes out in the finals. And just seeing how all the climbers tackle this problem in all the different ways, it's just really, really interesting to see how one problem can be solved by so many different ways. And Jason, very good progress for his starting flash attempt, but still got to secure the bonus.
And I think for problem 2, I think what Goyan was doing was right, but I think he would need to bring up his left leg or right leg in the concave of that volume.
In the little concave of the volume.
So you still have to work with the friction of his footing. So he really needs good footwork for this. I mean, this is the slab wall, so it's always a test of balance when it comes to this. And the first style that he is holding is inverted and it's not really good. So our climbers really need to pace themselves, make sure that they have enough juice for the following problems. They have 4 problems to do. And they have 1 more minute left. So in this minute, it's all or nothing for our climbers before they move on. Jason looking really close on that.
Would that be it for Jason? I guess that he's probably conserving energy for the upcoming climbs. It's a very nice strategy to have.
And Goan not giving up. And I think that is it for our climbers.
So joining us very soon would be Justin Young on his second route of the day, as well as Mark Chan for the first route of his day.
So our open men semi-finalists really wants to get themselves in the finals. Only top 6 will get in. And there is actually a lot at stake because other than that, we are also part of the RSB Boulder League together with Transcend and Rockmaster. And there are also cash prizes for the podium winners of the open category. So there is also a lot of incentives for our climbers to do their best. And we are seeing Mark putting his flexibility to the test. His entire span can see. But I don't think it's enough. I think the route setters didn't want anybody to use their span advantage over here.
Or as much as possible, even the span is not helpful because it's an incline.
Yeah.
So when you do use your span, there is a lot of lower core used.
So I think they have a different intention. I have a feeling it's a dynamic move, not a dyno, but something
a little more
jumpy.
Jumpy. Yes, that's the word. So Justin. Very nicely done, Justin.
So most of our climbers are getting this part quite easily to the bonus and stuff. It's
a standing up part on the tile. I mean, we've seen the starting tile, it's inverted, as you've said, and the surface that is positive is very, very unfriendly to most of our feet. The amount of footwork you have to have on both the huge volume and as well as that tile itself. Really difficult for us to see how this climb is gonna be made because we ourselves are not able to feel the tiles from this point. And a mark.
And so our climbers will actually get to win prizes brought by rsb.sg. So The prizes will include Tokyo Powder Industries chalk, Tenaya climbing shoes, E9 and E9 apparel. So I hope our climbers are looking forward to that.
So this is only the start of the RSB League. The Boulderactive 2017 is the first leg of this league, and following we will be having Transcend as well as Rockmaster. And so the winners of RSB League will walk away with so many interesting prizes. It's definitely good incentive for all our climbers. So in order to win the RSB League, they have to have the best qualifications as much as possible in all 3 competitions. And these accumulated qualifications would be counted as points. And the ones with the highest points would get the prizes as mentioned. So the climbing community is growing, and as well as the competitions and the leagues itself. So we're going to see a rise in the number of people joining, as well as rise in number of strong climbers in Singapore, as well as the region coming together to take part in all these activities. And joining us right now, we have Wei Ting on his first route of the day, as well as Jason back on route 2, and of course Guo An tackling route 3.
So looking at problem number 3, we see 2 big yellow moon-shaped tiles.
You know, the moon-shaped tiles are definitely a dynamic move required. Probably both hands, one hand's on the right and left hand on the bonus.
Yeah, that's how I predicted it would be done
and it actually looks like something that Terrapon, Dennis and Gavin are really good at. We've seen them doing it yesterday. We're going to see how Guo An tries to tackle this. So quite a straightforward route, but the tiles used are mainly volumes. Definitely not easy, and a very nice grip by Guo An single-handedly.
Very nice.
Very nice.
So on the bonus tile for this problem actually has a small crimp, so I think Guo An is holding on to it right now.
He's just finger latching onto that little crimp hidden amongst the volumes. And Jason, very good progress. Just gotta stand up a little. I feel like they have to shift their weight from left and then stand as much as possible with a locked motion. And you see Jason right now.
So Jason is using the crimp on the volume, but he slipped off.
He's the closest we've had seen so far. But very good progress with more than enough time on the clock for him. Still very, very well done. All these climbers are the top 20 from yesterday's Openman qualifiers, so they've come up tops in amongst 64 other climbers to make it through to this semi-finals.
And Jason was asked to come down because of a false start, so it's very important for our climbers not to commit a false start. So the yellow tapes indicate the limbs that must be on the tile before they make a move, and they have 1 minute left. So Guo An working really hard to keep that bonus.
Just very nice grip right there, just gotta hang on to his swing. "30 seconds on the clock for Guo An, Jason, as well as Wei Ting. Awaiting Guo An. Very, very difficult problem, it seems.
And that is it. We will be moving on to our next climbers.
So joining us right now is Bronson Wee from Team Onsite. And of course on the wall back again is Mark Chan as well as Justin Young.
So our climbers have 3.5 minutes to read the problem as well as to execute the moves. So they have not seen these before. They were in isolation and they have not seen a demonstration climb, and they are also not allowed to watch each other. So this was different from the session format that they had yesterday.
With 3 minutes and a half, time is ticking for both Justin as well as Bronson, and not forgetting Mark. Bronson and Justin making a very nice progress, very steady move. Wow, that's a very, very good way of trying to conserve as much energy as you can on such a dynamic move.
And I think the problem tree is actually on the most inclined wall that we have here.
And Mark, very, very close. So unlike our previous climbers, Justin, Ho-An, Mark actually went towards the right. He fully outstretched on the right before he tried to pull himself in, but that was where he slipped off.
And right now we are looking at Bronson. So just now, Jason, I think, tried this move, or was it Justin Young?
I'm not very sure. But
yeah, but one of the climbers tried this move. But Bronson, I think he managed to make it work once just now.
But as you said, the incline makes the swing a little difficult to tackle. But at the same time, these are the elite climbers that we have in the league right now. So definitely not impossible for them. And very impressive otherwise, nonetheless, for them to have come so far. The top 20s from yesterday's qualifiers.
Right now we see Justin Young with that toe hook.
So he's got to handle the swing that comes. It's very different from what Go-An did, because Go-An went on explosive movement, single-handedly catching on to the volume.
Yeah.
And Justin's trying to do it a very static way, but the bad thing is when he does the static way, his toe hook on the starting tile results in a huge swing. Of course, Mark trying to examine little cracks or little in-cuts on the tiles to see if there's anything that he can load on.
Yeah, they are allowed to use the defect on the wall if they can find any.
Yes.
They're just not allowed to hold the tina hole and the screw holes in the volumes.
That's right. And a very amazing climber nonetheless. Mark just came from last week's Asian Youth Championship. Did very well in the Youth Championship, and to have been able to climb back-to-back every weekend is definitely an amazing feat for such a young person. Because Justin, that be it for our climbers, Bronson, Justin, as well as Mark Chen. Joining us right now on the first route of his day is Tom Arnold, as well as back on the wall we have Wei Ting and Jason Liu and Go-An tackling the last problem for the semi-finals.
As you can see right now, who are the people that are coming, still streaming in. So if you're still at home, make sure that you come on down to join us here at Imperial Mall. Definitely a lot of food and amenities here.
And it's only a stone's throw away from Lavender MRT station. So no excuses, and it's a beautiful Sunday. So head on down to Imperial Mall, and we'll be bringing you the really exciting finals for the novice, the inters, and of course the opens very, very soon. But if you're unable to make it for this event here at Imperial Mall, make sure you click the notifications button, subscribe to us, and we'll be bringing you the live stream for all these events upcoming very, very soon. Go-An is looking at Route 4, triangular volumes all the way with with only one jug right there. It's not an easy move. It's a very explosive, very dynamic move.
So yesterday night I was actually here when the route setters are still tweaking some of the routes to make sure that they are exciting and at the same time something that our climbers will find enjoyable to do. And looking at
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold.
So
Looking really
maximizing
strong.
his span. He's
Yeah.
completely maximizing his span.
But that shoulder,
Yes.
it's a very big strain on the left shoulder.
And at the same time, we were just talking about it.
Yes.
Yes. At the same time, because of the incline, it adds a lot more weight towards the shoulder on the left. Because you're trying to sustain your entire body in a very awkward position for your shoulders. Not a very natural position. It's of course Guan still trying really, really hard. He is currently on the leaderboard for this semi-finals with 2 bonuses in 4 attempts.
And our climbers have 1 minute left on the clock.
Of course, not forgetting waiting.
Looking at Jason.
And
Looking
Jason,
steady on the bonus hold.
it's a little shaky there. Hoping, just hang on to it. You gotta hang on. It's a little shaky there. I think he
But that
didn't.
was a really good attempt.
Yes, but I think he didn't expect himself to catch it. So you can see he's just really, really smiling. Really very happy kind of climber to be climbing around. It's a very different beta, a very nice crossed feet between the tiles from the start to the bonus. A very nice cross feet from him. But that would be it from Jason, as well as waiting. And of course, sending off is Guan. And now joining us.
And joining us is Verosil Gerald Bio, as well as Bronson Wee on the second route, Mark Chan on the problem number 3, and on his last problem we have Justin Young. So just like Mark that we're seeing on the screen, Gerald actually also represented for the Asian Youth Championship last weekend.
So that is Team Philippines Asian Youth Championships representative, Gerald, on the wall right now. Of course, Mark. So it's basically like Asian Youth Championships all over again.
Yeah.
So very impressive young climbers, rising stars, definitely. So if I'm not mistaken, Gerald's brother actually took part in the open qualifiers with him, right?
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see siblings climb together to the same categories, because we have twin sisters yesterday from the open semis for ladies, and now we have siblings again. So it's really growing community together. It's really different to have siblings climb with you. So next time you want to have any outing with your sibling, just say, hey, let's go climb.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very easy kind of, very nice way of having family bonding time. Of course, I'm Mark.
Mark is trying to go with left hand and then a coordinated toe hook. Yeah.
It's Bronson.
That tile, that starting tile is proving very difficult to step on.
There's a little crimp on the tile, but it still poses a huge problem for many of our climbers. That's right. Now, Gerald. So comparatively, from Tom Arnold to Gerald, we can tell the difference in span, but at the same time they're actually able to reach to the volume that has the bonus tile. So our route setters definitely put a lot of effort in making sure that there is no span advantage in this route, because even Tom Arnold is not really able to get past the bonus. So definitely a hats off to our route setters for putting so much effort and so much thought into each route itself. Now Mark very nicely getting the tile before the bonus. Just hang on, just gotta make this attempt count. Very nice way of handling his swing. Gotta get his feet up to the crimp. Very nicely done. Oh, so close. He's spent a lot of effort to get up to that point. A lot of hooks, a lot of pulls. So it's not easy to have been able to go so far for Mark Chan and of course for Gerald. So joining us right now on first wall is Ao Chi Fong, as well as Tom Arnold on his second route and Wei Ting on his third route. And of course, in his final rounds for the semi-finals is Jason Liu.
And joining you on the second problem, we have Tom Arnold.
A quick look at the leaderboard for the Open Men's semi-finals. So join us on ba2017.crimp.rocks, that is crimp.rocks, and you can get the live score for our climbers right here. And on the early lead is Bronson Wee with 2 bonuses in 3 attempts. And Ao Chi Fong, wow.
This is the first time we have seen someone come this far for problem number 1.
Wow. Again, very
I think
nice
it's a
control.
dynamic go for the end. It's a nice style, the
But
end
he's
style.
very technical. He's quite a flexible climber. I'm not surprised if he crosses his hand from here on. Very, very nicely done by Chi Fong on his first attempt.
So our climbers are scored in the number of tops, attempt to tops, number of bonus, and attempt to bonus.
That's right.
And it's really important for them to get as many tops and bonuses as they can with the least amount of attempts. The more attempts they take, the less the scores will get penalized.
Let's waiting as well as Tom Arnold. Tom Arnold going for a slightly very way of starting.
Just so they can get all the way up to the top.
So of course, Boulderactive has always been attracting competitors from all over the region. We have climbers that are coming from overseas. So if you're watching right now from overseas, do let us know. Do subscribe to us and give us a thumbs up. It's nice to see that the climbing scene is getting on with the times, with live scoring, live chats, and live streaming. You never have to be outdated, never have to be out of the loop with what's going on in the competition scene right here in Singapore.
And of course, at the same time, very good progress. Wow.
Wow. That's what I thought it would be, that end. It's a really big
It's a big
jump.
move, yes. And of course, at the same time, Jason Liu.
So that will actually...
That puts Chi Fong on the top for the leaderboard.
Yes.
Right now with 1 top in 2 attempts and 1 bonus in his first attempt. Would that be a double finish by Jason and Tom? Oh, so close by Tom Arnold. 15 seconds as well as Jason. Very, very close. The last house syndrome once again.
Actually, Jason finished it in 4 attempts. Yeah, so they gave him the score just in time.
Very, very nicely done by Jason.
So you really don't give up. Even if it's the last problem, it could make all the difference to your climb.
Yes, that's right. So joining us right now on his first route is Yao Ka Chun, as well as Gerald on the second route. And what you see on screen now is Bronson on his third route. And of course, Mark tackling the last problem for the semi-finals. Yao Ka Chun. So Ka Chun and Chi Fong are both from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So we've seen his fellow man Hong Kong climber. Chi Fong finished the first route. We're going to see if Ka Chun can follow up with that. Now Bronson. So very, very nicely done by Gerald, just sustaining himself on the wall, finding his stable position to be, finding the sweet spot on the volume. Just probably trying to bump up to the bonus. It's a little difficult given that he is in a very contorted position away from the bonus tile. Mark on the 4th route. Meanwhile, Tachung Bronson again. Meanwhile, Gerald. So Gerald tried to do inter move. I think he's gonna try again with the inter move of the right hand. Okay, he's gone for the cross this time. It's still a little bit difficult for our young Gerald.
Yeah. This is actually his first semi-finals. Yeah. And his brother actually plays 21st. Yeah, so it's always that position where you don't want to be in, and they really wanted to be in together.
I heard his sister plays 21st too.
Yes.
The worst position to be in every qualifiers is the one position away from qualifying.
Yes, or the one position away from finals. It's always one position away from podium.
Yes.
Yes.
The 4th place, the
7th place, the 21st place. Yes.
But still, Gerald's definitely making his family proud of him right now. It's a little sibling rivalry yesterday, but the wall is his right now. It's Gerald. And Bronson still struggling a little with the dyno.
And we are now going to move on to our second round of climbers.
That's right, joining us is Jamal Al-Haddad, as well as Ao Chi-Fong, our first finisher for the first route, Ao Chi-Fong on his second route. And you see Tom Arnold on the 3rd route right now, just reading his routes a little, going very, very nicely with a bit of visualization. And on the last route is, the last route is Wei Ting.
We have on his first problem, that is Jamal Al-Haddad, University of Bangkok.
So like I said earlier, our climbers have not seen these problems. They were in isolation. There are also no demonstration climb for them, and they are not allowed to watch each other, or they're not allowed to look at the routes until it's their turn.
In fact, there's completely no communication for the climbers pertaining to any of the routes that they will be tackling in this semi-finals. The format is the same, pretty much the same for the finals tonight, but in a rotation format. Tom Arnold maximizing his span once again.
He's keeping that toe hook in, but I think the toe hook stops him from reaching the bonus tile. That's the problem with that. It keeps you steady on the wall, but it doesn't give you the length that you need.
That's right. I mean, Tom Arnold used the same move in the first route, but he was unable to sustain the swing. And now we see that the toe hook is a little, it's stopping him a little from moving forward. Gonna see how he's gonna tackle this problem. It's a very close call by our climber, Jamal.
And right now we are looking at Chi-Feng on problem number 2. He's currently the only one who has finished the first problem with a very big dynamic end. So definitely expectations on him are high.
And then secured an early lead by Chi-Feng. But of course, only half of the strongest climbers are up on the wall. The top 10 qualifiers have yet to make an appearance. So we'll be seeing stronger climbers coming out one after the other from now on. Of course, waiting the last route of the semi-finals. Very steady. It's a little slip up on the heel.
Yeah, those volumes have nothing on them. It's just the friction. There's
So it's
nothing else.
completely relying on the heel
Yeah.
when they try to stand up.
And the thing is, those triangular volumes, right? It's going down slope. So all the more you need to fight against gravity.
So the higher you go, the easier it is to slip off.
Yes.
So we've seen most of our climbers go on the right hand, a little dynamic to the right hand. And then after that is another problem because the only thing that get to grip on is probably the apex of the volume after. And of course, with 2 seconds, gonna welcome Bim Sagreed. Bim Sagreed on the first route, as well as Kachun on his second route, and Gerald on his third route, and Bronson tackling the final route of semi-finals. So Bim Sigrid's got really interesting hair, I have to say.
Whoa, that is a lot of chalk by Bronson.
A lot of chalk.
They really want to make sure that those tiles are dry.
So that's the thing about chalk sometimes. They can be a boon, they can be a bane when you're on the wall. We've seen really interesting tile designs, especially on volumes. Chalk can be a little difficult to handle when on volumes.
Yeah.
They may give you enough grip, but at the same time, too much chalk gets you too little grip. A little smoothened by the chalk on the surface. So the amount of chalk that you have and you're utilizing is really important. And of course, on the mention of chalk, we gotta have a huge shout out to Tokyo Powder Industries for providing us with top-notch chalk in different kinds of chalk to meet every climber's needs. Excuse me. Yes. So
actually, the goodie bag has a test pack for all the climbers. So if you have it, good, give it a try and see if you like it, and then next time go get a bigger pack for yourself.
Definitely, chalk is one of the most important things to have as a climber. And Tokyo Powder Industries, above all the goodness of it, it smells really, really nice. It's a very different way of trying the same route from Bim Sagreed as well as Bronson.
So Bronson is getting the height, but it's not latching on. I think he needs to really lock on the right shoulder.
In fact, I think he's not really committing to the jump. You can see that he's actually falling off very gently.
Yeah.
It shows that he's not as committed to this route as he should be.
Probably estimating how powerful. Yes. So now he got the estimate.
Estimate, yes.
So really fighting hard with these volumes.
So now the chalk is getting in his face.
So he has about a minute left to make this work.
And of course, not forgetting our other climbers. Bim still trying really hard. To obtain the bonus. The volume away. Because Bronson still very secure on on the volume.
He's finding the footing to get to the end. He just slipped off. But I think he has figured it out, but there's not enough time. That's the problem.
Because Route 2 is still unfinished at this point in time. And Route 3 and of course Route 4. Excuse me, Route 4 is finished by Jason. And joining us right now is Muhammad Ashraf bin Muhammad Sapri from Team Onsite, as well as Yao Kachun on his second route, Lao Chi Feng on his third route, and right now on screen you see Tom Arnold. Tom Arnold.
So we are still looking for that top for Route 2
and 3. And of course, Ashraf he was a little disappointed with his performance in Pump Fest. So he has vowed to do better this time. And I hope when he says do better means I'm going to see him in the finals.
Yeah.
And of course, podium finishes is one of the best things that can happen to you in any competition. So, very nicely done by Ashraf. Secured the bonus.
Thank you here early this morning. Good morning to one and all. Thank you, Mummy. Thank you, Daddy, for coming down here.
And Tom Arnold.
And this event is brought to you by NUS, and also in support is Onsite and RSB.SG. So our climbers can expect prizes that will be coming from Onsite and RSB.SG, such as Tokyo Powder Industries chalk, Tenaya climbing shoes, and E9 apparels. So it's so exciting. So all the things you need to continue with your climbing and keep on improving will be provided for if you get into the top 3 positions.
Of course, Jamal trying really different ways on Route 2, and Ashraf back again on Route 1.
So this shoulder move is very strenuous to our climbers.
We've seen how Tom Arnold struggled a little with the shoulder move, and Ashraf, while he's really much more dainty on the feet and the hands and the shoulder on the start for the bonus, his move towards the towel after the bonus is a little tricky.
And right now,
Chi Feng, our top contender, Chi Feng.
So it's slowly making its way to the second last style. It's really fighting hard, struggling with those tiles, but not giving up. And he has 1 minute left on the clock.
You know, that very, very closely done by Jamal. Now Chi Feng. So it's been a while since Chi Feng was on that volume. So if you're not able to see it, it's actually inclined. So it takes a lot of energy the longer you hang. And so it is a huge feat for him to have been hanging there for so long. The next towel after the bonus is really not easy, as we've seen so far. Once again, Ashraf. Of course, Chi Feng still doing very well. He's more familiar with the routes now.
Yeah, but there's not enough time, and we will be moving on to our next batch of climbers.
That's right, it's a thing about time sometimes.
Yeah.
If you're given a little more time, I'm pretty sure all the climbers are able to finish the routes, but because they're also fighting against time, becomes the problem for them.
I mean, definitely when the route setters make a route in terms of a set, they always want to make sure that it should be possible. And most of the time, if it's put in a gym setting where you're just there for, let's say, 2 to 3 hours and you're just sitting on those 4 routes, you will definitely be able to finish them. But it's because you only have this much time here.
That's right.
And you have to keep going right after the other. So you can't really sit around too long and let the fatigue recover.
That's right. So joining us on his first route and making very steady progress is Lam Hei Yong, as well as Bim Sagreet on the second route, and Yao Kachun on the third route, and of course Gerald on his last route for the semi-finals.
Wow, looking at our climbers on problem number 1.
Still a very good progress up to this point. Very nice flash attempts from him. At the same time, Bim agreed. So Route 2 seems to be one of the more difficult routes that our climbers have been tackling in these leagues recently. The huge volumes on the slab wall. You don't really get to practice a lot of these volume routes on slab walls because in many gyms there are usually tiles all around. There's always this tendency to want to use them, and at the same time you don't get a clean wall with only just that slab route. So very, very difficult for them to practice. And of course, Route 3, Xiao Kachong.
It looked really strong on these tiles. So it's trying to get to the second last tile. And they have 1 minute left on the clock. Time really run fast here.
So Kachong Real Haeyong with a very nice shoulder tension. So he's gonna
I
get
think
his
this
feet
is
up
good
now.
for one more attempt.
Definitely making this attempt count. So he's got to get prepared for the final move.
And he's doing a different beta.
I think he's still going to jump. Yep.
Wow.
Nonetheless, 30 seconds. I don't think he's going to continue.
Yeah.
Of course, our Bims agreed. 20 seconds on the clock for our climbers. Yao Ka Chong. And Bims agreed. And of course, sending off in his final climb for semi-finals is Gerald.
And if you are joining us right now, you are watching Boulderactive 2017 Open Men Semi-Finals. Right here on a Sunday morning, it's 10:15 a.m. So we have Ponti on the first problem, as well as Jamal on the third problem. So we can actually see our international climbers here competing and bringing in the experience. I think Boulderactive is one of those climbing competition that's actually well known overseas. People actually travel down, they actually inquire when the dates will be and the details of the event so that they can book their flight tickets and come on down here. So maybe next year, if you're watching and you're from overseas and you want to join in the fun, you want to try the competition yourself, I mean, we will always have Boulderactive next year. I mean, the planning for such events always start right after one has finished. So it's always 1 year of planning.
That's right, and the event just gets bigger and bigger every year. I mean, we've seen guest climbers, guest route setters, and this year with the collaboration with the North Face Cup 2018, it just gets bigger and bigger. Of course, on his second route,
we have Ashraf.
And on screen is Jamal. Very, very intricate micro beta needed for him to switch his feet over. And Jamal doing what we've seen from Tom Arnold. And a very nice catch. He's going to stabilize himself before he moves his hand to the bonus. Very nicely done. Of course, Ponti. Gotta commit a little bit more by Ponti.
Jamal trying to get there. It's really hard.
It's the orientation of the volume.
Yes.
For the ones that we've seen.
And we see Chifeng really working his flexibility. Going on to the final time. He needs 2 hands for it to count.
Very nice knee bar right there.
Just stabilizing himself. And there you go.
And there you have it.
And it will put him right on top still with that 2 tops.
So he's the first person and only person so far to have finished 2 routes. So very nicely done by our Chifeng.
So Chifeng is leading with 2 tops in 5 attempts and 4 bonus in 7 attempts. And following him is Jason Liu with 1 top in 4 attempts and 3 bonus in 6 attempts.
So the fight is really close for even the number of bonuses, as well as, of course, the tops.
However, we still have about 6 climbers coming out who have yet to try the problems themselves.
the top 6 climbers of the semi-finals will make it through to the finals tonight at 5 p.m. So joining us right now, get a huge shout out to Winai on his first route, as well as Hei Yong back on the wall again on his second route. And of course, you can't miss it. That's Bim Sagri for you on the third route, and Yao Kachon on his final route. Bim Sagri, as well as Winai. And of course, Yao Kachon.
Kachon making good progress on these volumes. Looking really steady. Looks so sure
And
of
he's
his
still
moves.
on his first attempt.
So actually for Chifeng, he stepped on the tile, but this time around, Kachin is stepping on the volume itself.
I think he's gonna do a max span right here. In this position at least. He's gotta get his feet very secure.
Wow. So that
Wow.
everything is on his shoulder right now. And he needs to get 2 hands for it to count. And there you go.
have it. Ao
Nice.
Chi-feng, as well as Yao Kachun, the pride of Hong Kong climbers in this Boulderactive 2017, both finishing Route 4 in very little attempt.
So Kachin actually
that was a
moves to the
flash.
second place.
With the flash. So very nicely done by our Hong Kong climbers. Of course, Bim. I think Bim was trying to go straight for the final tile. Was positioning himself in a better position to launch. And of course, that is Hei Yong.
Less than 1 minute, guys. Don't hit the clock. We only have 1 minute. Less than 1
And
minute.
Winai is back on the wall again with under a minute. They gotta make every attempt count.
They gotta hustle.
Hustle it out.
If you're participating in the under-17 and endurance finals,
So they have been climbing for 2 days now. With yesterday having the qualifiers and today the semi-finals, and if they make it to the finals, they'll be climbing again tonight.
It's gonna be a long day for our climbers if and when they make it to the finals tonight. It's not just a power endurance battle, but also a battle of the mental. The psychness. We have to sustain it all the way to the finals tonight. It's gonna be a long fight. With 4 seconds, I don't think Bim is gonna make it. It's a very nice effort. Very nice effort nonetheless by Bim Sagreed. Of course, our guest climber is joining us right now, Kaito Watanabe on his first route. And joining him is Ponti on his second route, Ashraf back on the third, and of course, Jamal on screen on his last route for the semi-finals.
also, last podium, the member of Japan's national bowling team in 2017.
Kaito Watanabe.
Kaito Watanabe actually came from Japan. So he was actually one of the podium winners for the North Face Cup 2017. And NUS Boulderactive has this agreement with the North Face Cup for an exchange program. So the podium winners of the North Face Cup 2017 will be able to participate in NUS Boulderactive 2017. And the top open women and men that will come out during the finals will be able to represent Singapore for the North Face Cup 2018. So Kaito Watanabe looking really good on this route, making quick progress. Wow. That is a really scary fall. He face planted to the mat. But he's back up and he's fine. And right now we are looking at Jama. Very powerful end. So I think to get to the top 6, you must at least finish one route. Perhaps you even have to flash it for you to have a safe position in. Right now we are looking at Ashraf on problem number 3 and Ponti on problem number 2. So Ashraf really fighting hard, but just slipping off the left foothold. And we are back. We're watching Kaito Watanabe once again trying to get this end. His last attempt made him face plant the mat. Let's hope he catch it this time round. There you go, 2 hands. Wonderful.
Very, very nicely done by Kaito. So in fact, Kaito has a world ranking of number 36 according to the IFSC charts. So definitely not surprising that he's able to breeze through the routes. But I'm gonna see how he's gonna perform as our top climbers from the qualifiers head out very, very soon. And still fighting on. 30 seconds, definitely enough time to afford him a few more attempts. That is Ponti. Alain Ponti. 15 seconds. You can see the fighting spirit.
Yeah, they are not gonna give up even in the last few seconds.
Inspiring to see them try so hard early in this morning. Because next up, we are inviting Chan Chong-shi Shoji and Winai back on route 2, as well as Hei Young on route 3 as on screen. And of course, welcoming us again is Bim Sugri on his final route of the semi-finals.
Also from Hong Kong, we have Hei Young. And lastly, from Indonesia,
So like I said, these climbers really need to read these problems so that they don't waste attempts. As much as you need physical ability in this climbing, you also need a creative mind and a problem-solving skills.
It's a visualization of the route and execution sometimes. And Shoji has the added pressure of knowing that his Hong Kong fellowmen have finished at least 1 or 2 of the routes. So we're going to see how he's going to perform, having qualified better than his own Hong Kong climbers. Because Bim Sugri so very nice catch on the bonus.
The beam
Very
is
nicely
really
done.
close. So 2 of our climbers on screen right now making really good progress, but both slipping off. I hope I did not jinx that. And right now still leading is Chi Feng with that 2 tops and the rest with 1 top.
So to secure yourself a position in the top 6 for this semi-finals, I think it's safe to say you got to have at least 2 tops to secure a position.
Yes.
But otherwise, the leaderboard would always be shuffling as our top contenders for the finals tonight will head out very, very soon as they fight it out in this semi-finals for that prestigious position of the top 6.
And we see Bim once again back in that position. And this time around, he would want to get this top.
I think he can make it. I think he can make it. I'm pretty confident right now. He's gotta be really slow.
Very nice.
Very nicely done is Bim Sugri. Of course, of course, Shoji. Still struggling a little with the grey volume. And meanwhile,
So
Winai,
Bim have actually moved up in the scoreboard, placing him 3rd. But we shall see if that will still change. And we still have 2 more climbers have yet to come out. Right now all eyes on Shoji and Haeyoung. With 30 seconds left on the clock, this might be Shoji's last try on this. But he's gonna give it one more go. Not wasting any time. Moving really fast. Wow, their coordinated moves. He has 5 seconds. He has 3. And that is it. What a valiant attempt. Really not giving up.
That fighting spirit in his eyes in the last 10 seconds. Definitely can't miss it. That was Shoji. So of course, joining us very soon, right now on screen, is Dennis Chua, our powerhouse Dennis, contender for all the competitions we've seen so far. So his goal for this year is to have podium finishes in every single competition. And he was very close to it for last year, so this year we're going to see how he's going to perform. And of course on screen we also have Ponti on Route 3, and off screen is Ashraf on Route 4, and of course we cannot forget our guest climber Kaito Watanabe on Route 2.
So we have yet to see a top for problem 2 and 3. So we are still looking for that. Let's hope our climbers can do it and show us how it's done. Right now we are at NUS Boulderactive 2017 happening here at Imperial Mall. So if you're still at home or making your way here outside, do come on down. Our next category, which is the U17 and Novice Finals, will actually start at 12 p.m. for our U17 and 1 p.m. for our Novice Finals. So plenty of time for you to head on down over here. So we have Kaito really fighting hard with those crimps. Really small footholds.
Dennis. So this route is actually quite Dennis style, I would say. It's a very explosive, very powerful move, and he managed to catch the Tsao with a hook, a coordinated movement right there. Now, gotta control himself with the moves, Ponti. Now Dennis fighting spirit with a rage mode on. He's got to make this route count. It's a move that he definitely is able to do, but he's gotta compose himself. 30 seconds with Ashraf.
Even though our climbers have never seen all the other climbers attempt this route, they know that some people have finished this because they can hear the crowd cheer.
Definitely. And then Kaito going the furthest we've seen so far, 10 seconds on the clock.
And Ashraf ending problem number 4 as well.
Ashraf closing his fight for the semi-finals with a very beautiful finish. It was so close that Kaito was on before he fell off when the time was running out. So right now our top contender from the semi-finals is Gavin, as well as Shoji on Route 2, and on screen Winai. And of course on his last route for the semi-finals is Haeyong.
So we are looking for a solution for problem 2 and 3.
This is Winai.
So Shoji making good progress on problem number 2, really fighting hard with those crimps. Also we are looking at Haeyong getting the bonus tile. Wow, he went all the way straight to the top.
Very nicely done.
What a gentle jump.
Very gentle,
Yeah.
very controlled. It's like dancing on the wall.
Yeah. And right now we are looking at Gavin on the screen as well as Winai.
So
Gavin inching closer to the end.
Oh,
his right leg slipped off,
but it's got a lot of time on the clock for
his
himself.
frustration.
He's got a lot of time, so definitely able to afford him a few more attempts. And this is only his first climb, so we can see what's going to come up next for the next few climbs. And so far, only Ao Chi Fong has managed to finish the first route, so that is definitely an amazing feat on its own.
And right now we are looking at Shoji once again tackling this problem. Winai is still finding his footing on this problem, trying to sustain the moves. There we go. Winai
got to
catching
contain the
with the
swing.
towel. Yep, he's trying to control that swing and then get to the bonus tile. Our climbers have less than 1 minute left. So right now we are looking at Gavin again going for that finish.
He really wants this finish. You can see the fighting spirit again. Really inspiring climber. And of course Winai. So he's caught it again. He's familiar with this move right now, so it's gotta end it. 20 seconds. He can
So
make
both
it.
our climbers are fighting with the clock.
It's a brush with the final towel. You can look at the look of disappointment on his face.
Yeah.
Of course. That is all for the finalists for the semi-finals. So joining us again on Route 2 is Dennis, as well as Kaito on Route 3, and Ponti on the final route for the semi-finals. All our qualifiers have come out. And this is the fight between the top 5 climbers from the qualies.
So they really want to secure that position to get into the top 6. Only 6 competitors will make it tonight for the finals. And there are a lot at stake because the podium winners of BA17 Open Finals will actually receive cash prizes, being the 3rd place receiving 100 SGD, 2nd place with 200, and the 1st place with 300 Sing dollars. So there's a lot of things you can do with that. So there's of course another incentive other than the medal and the bragging rights, that you are the champion of Boulderactive 2017. And following this event later on at 12 p.m. we will have the U17 finals. 1 p.m. we will have the novice finals. At 3 p.m. we will have the intermediate finals, and at around 5 to 5:30 p.m. we will actually have the open finals. So if you're watching right now, do give us a thumbs up. Do let us know that you're around. If you're watching from overseas, let us know from which country you are from. This live stream is brought to you by Live Studios. Brought to you by On-Site Climbing Gym. On-Site Climbing Gym is also an event sponsor right here.
And of course, Kaito. Very nice coordinated move there. And then Ponti, 1 towel away.
There we go, Ponti with one end.
Very nicely done by Ponti for final route. And of course, Kaito fighting very, very hard.
Our climbers have less than 1 minute left. And right now, looking at the scores, most of our climbers other than Shifeng have 1 top. So I think it's safe to say that you must have at least 2 tops, or at least a flash, if you only have 1 top to get to the top 6.
Right now, our Hong Kong climbers are dominating the leaderboard, but as our guest climbers and of course our local talents take it out on the wall. Dennis crimping the little edges on the volume. So Dennis really needs at least 2 tops to make it to the finals for tonight if he wants that podium finish.
He have 2 seconds. I don't think it will be enough time. And that is it.
And that was it for Dennis and Gavin joining us on the wall right now. And Shoji on his 3rd route. And of course, Winai tackling the final route for the semi-finals.
We're still waiting for that problem number 2 and 3, and with Gavin being our last climber, we are pinning all hopes on him to finishing this.
And I'm quite certain that Gavin would do quite well on this wall. But it's been a very long day of climb for him yesterday. To see how it's gonna accumulate in his climbs right now. And of course, very nicely done by Shoji and Winai. There's Shoji with the Hong Kong climbers on the leaderboard right now. We're gonna see if Shoji can make it. So it'll be like a team Hong Kong tonight.
Of course, we would like to see our own local climbers in that top 6. I think for the open women, there's actually a good mix. I think it's 3 international climbers and 3 local climbers.
Definitely making it difficult for our local climbers. All these really strong climbers from around the region, as of course internationally, coming to Boulderactive 2017.
And I think this is the furthest we've seen on problem number 3 just now with Shoji. And right now we are looking at Winai, trying to find that top that he needs. The climbers have about 1.5 minutes left, plenty of time.
So very nicely done by Winai. And all eyes right now on Gavin and Shoji. Very nice rest right there for Shoji before he moves to the next route.
So Gavin's really trying to find his balance here.
And so right now we have a tie between Jason Liu and Winai for the 6th place. And only the top 6 finalists will make it through to the finals tonight. So come on, Gavin, you really need this. Of course, Shoji, make Hong Kong proud. He's hanging on right there. Very nicely done. And Gavin.
So with 30 seconds on the clock, it's really mad rush right now for our climbers on the wall.
Gavin, 20 seconds. You can tell the look of frustration and disappointment, but no worries, 2 more routes coming up. Come on, Gavin, you can do this. Take a good break, then we're gonna have you back on the wall. So right now, we're gonna have Dennis on his 3rd route, as well as Kaito tackling the final routes for the semi-finals. In the last 2 routes for Dennis. So if Dennis wants to get a podium finish, he really has to do well in this next 2 routes. And of course, if you want to see Kaito again tonight, he needs this wall.
So I think if our climbers manage to do a flash, they will definitely move up to the top, because currently for the 6th place it's 1 top in 4 attempts. So you definitely want to do less than that.
Yes.
Less
But,
attempts.
So Kaito has already secured himself a position in the finals tonight. So we're just going to see his placing. And still at the moment, our Hong Kong climbers are doing really well with Ao Chi Fong, Yao Ka Chun and Lam Hei Yong. So if Kaito can finish this route within 2 attempts, he would be placing first in a tie with Ao Chi Fong. But
and
very
there we
nice.
go.
So that with that flash, it places him in the top contender for tonight's finals. Very nicely done by Kaito. And all the stress is on Dennis now. He is the only climber on the wall.
Only the top 6 will be able to qualify for the final round.
The top 6 would be able to qualify.
And there we go, looking at Dennis, looking really strong.
So apologies, Kaito is in second with the number of attempts to bonus. And still Dennis, he really needs this.
Can see him scream out of frustration.
1.5 minutes for him. He's very angry looking. Very fierce warrior right there.
And you can see around there are photographers everywhere making sure to capture all this raw emotion. And thanks to Nikon and our photography team as well. And we always upload the highlights after each category. So right after this event, you can look out for the Open Men's semi-finals highlights on our Facebook page. So make sure you follow us, NUS Boulderactive, both on our Facebook and Instagram. So Dennis have less than 1 minute left on the clock for this problem.
He really needs this in 40 seconds. Wow.
So if you are watching right now, do cheer for your climbers, do cheer for our local representatives right here. Let's get them.
He will jump for this. He has to get it in 1 try.
Wow!
That is the finish. The first finish on Route 3. Dennis. And with that, it's a very nice placing for him. He always has that amazing explosion whenever he climbs. It's not the first time you've seen him go for a move like that. And definitely very good climb from
I think he gave everyone a very big scare because
it's not the
for
first
problem
time.
1 and 2, he is yet to do a top. So everyone's just waiting, and of course
he knows he needs it, and the crowd is really cheering for him.
Yes.
Of course, Gavin, same circumstance. The stress is on for him, knowing that Dennis has managed to finish this route. So this time he's going for a slower static move instead of the explosive ones he had attempted the previous time. He's got to make this count.
It's really important for our climbers to not let the frustration get to them, not best them of this, and remain focused because there are still problems for them to do. And we're also looking at Shoji on problem number 4.
So Shoji
is looking for that first top.
It's a very close fight with all our climbers. Really wants this top.
And there you go, inching closer.
Very
and there's
nicely
the
done.
top.
Shoji. I guess with that flash, it will be a very nice resume for Shoji. Gonna see if he's gonna make it through the finals tonight after the climbs by Dennis and Gavin.
Okay, so Shoji's attempt on that actually pushed him all the way to the top 6. So right now, sitting at 7th is Dennis. So for him to get...
For Dennis to qualify
in
for the finals tonight,
yes, he needs to finish the last route.
Yes.
And there we go.
Gavin.
All eyes on Gavin.
Once
doing
again,
a different method
different
from
beta
Dennis.
this time. The intended beta, if I'm not wrong.
No! So he kind of hesitated on that jump.
He really needs this if he wants to secure a placing in the finals tonight. And Gavin.
Okay, I just want to say that this is the first time I've seen Gavin very
angry.
Yes.
Very
frustrated.
annoyed. Yes. Usually a very calm climber. So Dennis managed to finish this route in 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Gavin, this is his chance. His fellow man Dennis is definitely cheering for him right now while resting. But he himself is in a battle of his own. 15 seconds. Dennis.
It's really
and
now a
Gavin.
fight with the clock.
10
he
seconds.
has 10 seconds to go. Definitely more than enough to make that jump. And
Yes.
there you go, just
Yes.
in time.
2 seconds on the clock is Gavin. And I'm back, well done. For Gavin, you can look at the amount of fatigue he has accumulated. Just lying there and resting as much as he can before he goes for the next route. And
So-
Dennis.
We only have 2 climbers left, and that is Dennis and Gavin, and they are still not in the top 6. So this final route, they must be able to finish it.
So if Dennis is able to top this route, despite the number of attempts,
Yes.
he will secure a final placing
Yes.
for tonight.
And same for Gavin.
And the same for Gavin. But what happens is, it is always the worst part to have is the 7th place.
Yeah.
So Dennis really needs this.
They just have to finish this. Gavin and Dennis just have to finish this, and they will secure a place in the finals.
In fact, you can see that Dennis is a lot more confident now.
Yeah.
Less anger in his moves. A lot more composure.
That's the thing about climbing. Even if the first 2 problems give you a lot of
Wow.
problem, you should never give up.
Once again, Dennis wowing
And there
the crowd.
you go. And that's a flash if I'm not wrong.
That is a flash attempt. So once again, he wowed the crowd with his explosive moves and
And
catches.
that pushes Dennis to the first place with
Wow.
2 tops
That
and 4
was a
attempts. Yes,
total
yes.
reversal.
That is
He's gonna
the plot
see-
twist is so big right
so
now.
you can see a replay of him just wowing the crowd in both the routes 3 and 4. It's amazing.
The plot twist.
Yes.
That's so
That's
scary.
the thing about climbing, because just one difference in attempts
Yeah.
can make a huge leap for you. Just take a look. Wow. So we just see Gavin on screen, just resting as much as he can. So Dennis actually tried to go a little static before he
Yeah.
just decided, let's not do it the static way, because he's so much more confident in his moves in the more dynamic moves. Just looking at him, finding the best position, the sweet spot on the volumes. So he was intending to go on a bump, but he decided,
Let's
let's
just go for it.
like that.
Yeah.
Wow. That is the Dennis we know. So we'll see him tonight on the finals, which will be happening at 5 p.m. So make your way down to Imperial Mall, and it's just next to Lavender MRT station, with a lot of food and amenities that you need, as well as a 24-hour Tim Ho Wan and a 24-hour cold storage. All the food you need, all the grocery shopping that you need on a Sunday. It's a beautiful day today. And coming up very, very soon is the finals for the novice, the inters, and of course the opens tonight.
So if you are wondering how our climbers are doing and you want to see a preliminary results, you can actually see it at ba2017.crib.rocks. it is not a finalized score, but it gives you a good gauge of what's going on. And as we are saying, as we are predicting, Gavin just have to finish this route regardless of number of attempts, and it will put him in the top 6 position.
So it's looking a little shaky for Shoji from Hong Kong right now. So 3 of our Hong Kong climbers have made it to the finals, and it's all up to Gavin. So he needs this climb. The number of attempts don't matter for him if he wants to secure a final placing.
Yeah, he just have to really finish this. Because currently sitting on the 6th position is one top in 2 attempts. And 2 in 5th and 4th is the Flashes with only 1 top.
So Gavin already has 1 top in his pocket. So he's gonna see how he's gonna finish this. He's trying a jump start.
I've never seen anyone do this with a jump start. I have a feeling that he might be overthinking this a little bit.
I have a feeling he's overthinking a little.
Yeah.
But definitely a moral booster from after we've seen Dennis.
I mean, it was a tough fight for him for the problem 1 and 2. It definitely frustrated him.
Yes, but still Gavin is quite a dynamic climber. Him and Dennis train a lot together.
And now doing a different approach.
I think he's trying to get his feet up, but I think you just stand up and reach out. Come on, Gavin, you can do this.
Really nice.
So he's kind of skipping the bonus towel a little. It's a minute and 40 seconds. So all of us here want to see him finish this.
So definitely a lot of pressure on our climbers right now. They really want to do well. There you go.
Very nicely done.
I think he's finally getting
I think he's gonna
sense
jump
of
also.
this problem.
Okay, I thought he was gonna jump.
Maybe he wants to be more secure.
But then again, he's done very well in all these corners kind of routes.
There you go. You need 2 hands on the top hold.
You're just finding the apex.
There you
Gavin,
go.
for you. Very, very nicely done, Gavin. You can look
Okay, so we're just gonna wait for the live score to update,
and of course for the route judges and the route setters to finalize the results.
As we have predicted, Gavin just needed to finish there regardless of the attempt. So in 6th position we have Lam Hae Young with 1 top in 1 attempt. We have Yao Kachin in number 5th. For the 4th position we have Gavin. In 3rd we have Kaito Watanabe from TNFC. For number 2 we have Chi Feng, and our top in the semi-finals is Dennis Chua.
But of course the results are not finalized yet. So we're gonna see if the chief judges would finalize this result.
And definitely you can look forward to all the finals for all the categories later on. And we just want to thank our event sponsor, Onsite Climbing Gym and RSB.SG for supporting this event. This event is organized by NUS Climbing Club, supported by Team NUS and NUS Student Sports Club. So we will see you later on for U17 and Novice Finals.
ってるって聞いてこれですかね。
私も
東京粉末仲間みんな友達。
One man's rare is another man's treasure.
I enjoy coming to onsite because the routes are pretty world class. We've got some world class setters over here. We've got
new people setting different routes, so everything is so fresh and challenging.
We really like the routes here because they're really challenging.
I do really like the climbs here, the leading.
Yes, they are very strong climbers, but they are accepting to new climbers too. So it's a big family.
We kind of help each other get better in a way, whether it's mentally or physically.
You get to learn new stuff every day, because every day is a new experience.
Singapore being the crossroad of many culture makes this place a great place to come, train of course, but also mingle with other people.
That's where you realize that, oh, this is actually quite cool. Like, that's how friendships like build.
Climbing is actually a good community. I mean, the people here, they enjoy climbing together, spend time together. I mean, you can make friends with just a random person right now. It's pretty cool.
I think most here are like really powerful and like, or you get like these really small holes. It's the best feeling ever.
You feel like you're like on top of the world.
The more challenging it is, the more I want to take it on.
The adrenaline rush, it feels great and very rewarding that you push yourself to the end, even though you can't make it, but you still push yourself.
It's very refreshing to see how enthusiastic people are about climbing.
I just love the movement, I guess. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I really love it here.
This gym has a certain kind of people, special attraction to certain group of people who are really psyched. People like this one. Unlimited power and energy.
And they really, literally, they're building the scene here, which is amazing because it's something you only get the chance to witness once.
Cool, man.
My hometown,